According to the Huffington Post, the number of babies born in the United States was over 4 million in 2009. But where these babies are being born is up to the parents. Birth attendant Rebekah Knapp is here to talk about having a baby at home. Thank you for joining us today. What is a birth attendant or midwife, since they are a little bit of an interchangeable word?
Birth attendants or midwives, depends what level of training they are, maybe doing hospital or home births. I do home births.
Why did you decide to become a midwife?
God called me to do that. It's the short and simple, but I love helping families.
What is a little bit of the backstory? Why did God call you to it? Was there something that you saw or heard, or what was it?
I was really thinking about being a nurse, and then I saw a short TV clip, and it was through that the Lord spoke to me about specifically helping prevent childbirth death and infant death in Haiti. Specifically, I've been able to go there twice now and teach midwifery, but also help families here in the U.S.
So just seeing that one video kind of changed your whole life. And,
it did.
And you went over to Haiti. What kind of work did you do with the midwives there?
I worked with midwives for Haiti, and we were training midwives. Depending when I went down there, we worked in the hospital or just in a classroom setting. So we were teaching all kinds of fun skills as well as the book work.
Was there any tricks of the trade that you taught, that you had learned and you brought to them?
One of the things was using a rebozo, which is a very old Mexican tradition, and helping get the baby in a good position, which sometimes can inhibit the birth process.
So you're teaching them, and you have also been taught as well. How does the whole process work?
The families contact me to help them with a home birth or just ask me questions, and I can do all the prenatal care throughout the whole pregnancy up to 6 weeks postpartum.
So you're there for almost the whole process, sometimes with certain families, and there might be complications that come up during the labor process. How do you deal with them?
Depending what the complication is, we may end up having to transport to the hospital, but most of the time we can handle most things at home too. Minor complications.
What are some of the minor complications that you can deal with at home that some people might think is major but not really?
One of those is a cord around the neck. Most of the time it's just draped around the baby's neck like a scarf would be worn, not actually wrapped 2 or 3 times around the neck. And a lot of people do consider that a major complication, but we see it a lot.
It's something minor that keeps coming up, and you know how to deal with it at home in a safe way.
Right.
There's a lot of people that have different baby stories, and I know mine. I remember my mom telling me about my personal baby story, how she was standing on the bed in the hospital giving birth to me. Have you had any crazy moments or stories that pop out to you?
Yes, we've had some. One of those is based on where the family may choose to have their baby or think they want to have their baby, the location they choose, whether it's their bedroom or the living room or whatever. This one mom wanted to have a water birth, and she had the pool set up in the basement, and she was getting ready to have that baby, really close to having it. And I was like, okay, next contraction, something's gonna happen. And suddenly her eyes popped open, and she looks at us and runs up the stairs. And her husband and I are just like, what's going on? And we quick grabbed everything, ran after her. She's up in the bedroom having the baby. And I asked her, what was going on? Why did you change location? She's like, I was writing the birth story, and I got to the part, and you were born in the basement. She could not stand that.
She wanted a little bit more personal.
A little more personal, not the basement. Not that the basement was dirty or anything like that.
She just didn't want it. She wanted a little bit more nice.
Yep.
What are some things that families need to have in preparing to have a baby at home?
I do give them a list of supplies they need to have on hand. Just general stuff that you normally have around the house. Towels, maybe some plastic to protect the bed or the carpet or whatever. Baby clothes, diapers,
the little things.
Yes, that you forget about. Yes.
And all the commotion that's going on.
Right.
After the baby is born, do you help out the mothers with postpartum depression?
Postpartum depression, I do. Depending how severe it is, we may have to seek outside help because that's not necessarily a specialty that I'm real good with. but I do hopefully know the signs and symptoms. When someone else needs to come help us. I can help with the breastfeeding challenges as well.
Why do you think the home births are becoming more popular than they have been in the recent past?
I think a lot of people want something different than what they've been getting just in the mainstream hospitals. And I know the hospitals do a great job on trying to make it a home setting, but still staying home is often way more appealing to most people.
And just real quickly, what is the cost comparison in having a home birth versus having a birth at a hospital?
Generally a lot less. Usually under $2,000 a lot of times, depending on the part of the country you live in, compared to a lot of hospitals it's $4,500 to $15,000.
So there's a wide range of the differences. Is it safe to have your baby at home? And why?
It certainly is safe to have a baby at home. Generally you're going to be less fearful. You're going to be more relaxed, so things are going to go much better.
Well, thank you so much. You have a lot of great information and great stories as well. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.